When Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu returned from Washington earlier this month, his political rival, former Defense Minister Benny Gantz, launched a campaign supporting a strike on Iran. This came at a time of growing social unrest in Israel over the prolonged war in Gaza and the increasing burden on exhausted reserve forces. While the parliamentary opposition follows Netanyahu's lead, refusing to acknowledge the illusion of total victory, a strike on Iran would risk igniting chaos across the region. Simultaneously, Israeli military operations in Syria are deepening strategic confusion, pushing the country into another quagmire. These aggressive moves highlight the limit of Israeli military power. While a deeper conflict simmers under the surface, the identity crisis between the state of Tel Aviv and the state of so-called Judah and Samaria, the Israeli name for the occupied West Bank. This internal rift is increasingly visible. A Shin Bet internal intelligence official was recently arrested for leaking classified materials to a government minister and journalist in an unprecedented breach. Even more shocking, Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich refused to attend a war cabinet meeting this week because Shin Bet chief Ronen Bar would be present. At the same time, the Shin Bet is investigating security leaks from the Prime Minister's office and infiltration of police by Kahanist activists. Intelligence agencies are split. Police, under a messianic right national security minister, refuse to restrain settler violence in the occupied West Bank. In contrast, the Shin Bet remains aligned with the state apparatus and Netanyahu's opponents. These divisions also play out across the media landscape. Ultimately, Zionism today is fractured into two political realities with opposing moral visions, now institutionalized within the state itself. Criticism of Netanyahu has begun to emerge from within the right. Former allies, including senior officials such as Moshe Yaalon, Dan Meridor and Dan Halutz, all known for their hawkish views, are now breaking ranks. Unlike the passive parliamentary opposition, they recognize that the threat lies not only in the war, but in the broader societal transformation Netanyahu is pushing. Yaalon, who commanded deadly operation in the occupied West Bank during his tenure as army chief, shocked Israeli audience in a primetime interview when he said he expected Israel not to send soldiers to kill babies in Gaza. He also acknowledged that Israel is conducting ethnic cleansing in northern Gaza. Meridor, the former justice minister, has confronted Israeli media about rising racism in politics, reminding viewers that Israel once disqualified Rabbi Meir Kahana's party from election over its racist platform. He urged the Shin Bet to investigate settler pogroms in the occupied West Bank, while acknowledging that demographic realities make annexation of Gaza and the West Bank impossible. Halutz, the former commander of the Israeli Air Force, has also publicly opposed the Gaza war, warning it would only deepen hatred and empower enemies. In recent Haaretz interview, he expressed concern that his children and grandchildren may choose to leave Israel altogether, fearing that Netanyahu's social engineering project is disrupting the delicate balance between the occupation and liberal life in Tel Aviv. These officials grasp that many on the left still deny. The Zionist right is not just continuing a war, it is preparing for a cultural domination. And while the left avoid proposing real alternatives, the messianic right is laying the groundwork for a long ideological battle that could redefine Israel's identity. If Israel has succeeded at anything during its war on Gaza, it has been to maintain normalcy. While carrying out genocidal violence, tens of thousands of Palestinians and thousands of Lebanese people have been killed. Yet Israeli life continues uninterrupted. Despite genocide accusation at The Hague, the international protests and economic boycott, Israeli society marches on unfazed. The real issue is not ignorance, but a psychological ability to dissociate. Despite instant access to information, Israelis continue life as usual, even as the bombs from Gaza and Beirut echoes across their cities. Claims of we didn't know no longer holds. Thousands of Israeli soldiers have filmed and shared footage of their role in the war. They know, everyone knows. The fear is not ignorance, but of indifference. The true danger lies lies in a society capable of committing genocide while maintaining its daily comfort, justifying the death of babies and asking no questions. Netanyahu's former allies now recognize the threat to the equilibrium that once allowed Israelis to enjoy prosperity while dominating another group of people. This balance between comfort and control created a public willing to serve in the military without asking questions. Israeli soldiers, perhaps uniquely returned from war, to spa vouchers, gym discount, and social media posts that seamlessly shift from Gaza to Paris. But the messianic right demands more. Its vision is of a militarized society engaged in religious warfare and limitless territorial expansions. It ignores the limits of power and recklessly threatens war with neighboring Arab states. And it seeks a cultural transformation for which many Israelis are simply not prepared. Central to this balance is Israel's middle class, the economic backbone of the country, largely based in Tel Aviv. This group tolerated a formula: occupation over there, liberal lifestyle over here. But as they remained silent, especially after the 2005 Gaza disengagement, the religious right launched strategic project to plant religious academias and communities in secular cities and to slowly infiltrate institutions of power. Over time, the chaos of the occupied West Bank was imported into Israeli civic life, escalating cultural tensions and reshaping national identity. One concern shared by Netanyahu's former allies is that the Tel Aviv middle class, with its wealth and mobility, could simply leave. That would devastate Israel's economy and dismantle its liberal image abroad. Perhaps these figures now feel free to speak because they are not seeking re-election or return to service. This gives them space to speak honestly about what they once enabled. They know they helped Netanyahu rise, and they must now live with that legacy. Yet, even in their criticism, they remain trapped in a familiar failure. They still do not center Palestinians' humanity. For them, Palestinians remain a side story. Until the Palestinian right to freedom and equality is recognized as the moral compass, they are not alternative. They are merely mourning the Israel they once knew.